Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now, there is a circulating video on social media whereby the KDF officer was seen confronting and intimidating a Kenya police officer in Likoni, and two police officers have been injured in this incident.
Sielewi, hata sijui nimefanyika. What happened?
Mbona mwana Rose majishi kila time akija hapa?
Yes, but there's always sasa unapiga kama polisi. What is wrong? Wewe, what is wrong with you? Wewe, what is wrong? Wewe. Nini mbona mnatufanyia hivyo? Nini? Mbona mnatufanyia hivyo?
Mbona charge rifle?
Mbona mnapiga? Wafanyia nini?
Mbona charge rifle? Intention yake ni gani?
This is too much. This is too much. Nini?
Mbona charge rifle? Intention yake ni bro.
Nini kimwache? Mbona mnafanya hivi? This is embarrassing. Okay, tuko kazi moja, mbona mnafanyia hivi? Sawa.
People are asking so many questions. Why are we witnessing this kind of situation within our discipline forces? Because now you would expect that KDF, they are going to respect the police and police will do the same. But it seems this is no longer happening. With this situation, we are now taken back to what happened in April, is it 17 or 16 there, whereby a traffic police officer delayed to open the traffic block for the KDF who went to fetch water. So they were having the water buzzer truck. And when the police delayed to open, what happened? The KDF officers forced the police on his knees. When he refused to kneel down, they proceeded to disarm the police. Then later, they shoot in air 2 times. So after that, they proceeded to go and get water from, it was in Lodwa, I think. Is it Moi what? In Lodwa, Moi Gardens. So they fetched water. Then later, police officers had to call for reinforcement. So the KDF officers were arrested and arraigned in the police station. Then later, that's Lodwa police station. Then later, they were handed over to the military police. So look at what is happening now and what happened some time back. Then try to link the two incidents and tell us really what is going on in our discipline forces. This was the situation.
Kama ungekuwa umechukua bunduki heshima, unakuja unafungaje kama wewe mkaivo? Si ungekuja kuniongelesha iko hivi na hivi.
Enda huko. Chukua hapa bwana. Watu huko. Enda hivi. Yuko. Watu hivi hapo. Kaa chini. Bwana mnatoa. Kaa chini. Amdai kaa chini mnafikiria hapo. Mtakaa raka. Hii sasa ni mahali yake si mahali yote niko. Na mnapiga risasi juu.
Now, one question Kenyans are asking, when you watch what happened in Likoni, the KDF ranger, incident with the police officer, and what happened in Lodwar between police officers and the KDF. Then one question comes out. Are KDF in a mission to revenge the humiliation they suffered in the hands of Kenya police? Because we are seeing a lot of tension between the police and the Kenya military. Is there a kind of revenge? So many questions are coming out without answers. And so as we continue with the panel discussion, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, definitely, there can be such kind of a revenge where the KDF cannot allow to be humiliated in the hands of police officers because they view police officers as junior officers to them. These are different, unit. Talking about police officers, they have their ranking and leadership separate. Akina Koome huko. You talk about military, this is separate. Naongelea mambo ya kina kama the late Ogola, CDF. So, with all this, you see that you have to draw the line. The Kenya Defense Forces are in charge of defending Kenya as a country against the attacks from outside. And an intruder who comes in has to deal with the KDF. KDF has to deal with such people. Anyone who wants to launch an attack on Kenyans, KDF has to deal with those people. Any intruder, anyone against Kenya. Then the police officers, they are here internal security. That is their duty and responsibility, internal security, to maintain law and order. Mambo ya KDF sio ya maintain law and order. Kazi yao ni tofauti. So they view themselves as senior to police officers. Because even their role means even protecting these ones, for them to be able to do their work here of maintaining law and peace. So even what happened in Lodwar, many people predicted that police might be feeling that they have succeeded suppressing the KDF who attempted to intimidate them. But many believe that this is going to be revenged with time. And indeed, this is one of the issues you can now say that maybe there can be a way in which KDF is trying to communicate to the police that we will not allow you to intimidate us, that we are going to revenge, that you can't suppress us, that we are senior than you, that you must respect us. There can be that kind of might show and power from the KDF, sending a strong message to the police. Because if you try to compare the two, then that comes out. But it seems like the KDF have refused to cooperate in any way with the police officers. Yani ukiwaona tu wakikuja, wacha maneno mengi, wafungulie gate, waende na shughuli zao, don't question them. Period. So they don't want to associate with the police officer in any way. Wewe tufungulie, don't question us, achana na sisi tuendelee na shughuli zetu. Something like that. So when it reaches this level, then you start asking questions, because now tensions are growing between the police and the military. Where will this one end to? And how will it end? How will this one end? Is it safe for this country? Because with this behavior, it can turn into a serious war. When KDF are now fighting the police, Who is going to maintain law and order here? And where is the discipline now? Because we're talking about disciplined forces. If they engage in a fight, there is no longer discipline among these two different forces. No discipline. With this one, then the eyes goes to their leaders, Koome and the rest. Talk about Kenya Navy, Kenya Air Force, the Kenya Army. So now you start questioning about their bosses. How come they cannot deal with this issue so that it is not going this far, bringing tension in the country? Because anyway you see the KDF officer or an army officer fighting a police, it's a bad sign for a country. It does not mean good. Because if you talk about failures in any country, and we were discussing in one of the videos here that Boni Harara was raising issue about, you find it's always easy for military to take over the leadership of the country through a coup d'etat. It can happen. Wakichukua hivyo polisi, mnabaki na ile kazi yenu ya kawaida, hamuna kazi nyingine, na orders mnachukua kutoka kwa hao. Sometimes they will be in charge of everything. They can even force you to wear a civilian, and you have nothing to do. So with all this, it shows even the failure to the man in charge of this country in Statehouse, the chief in command of the all armed forces. It shows the failure in this government that you are leading a country and forces that they are not united or don't speak same language. Instead, they are in competition. So it is also dangerous for William Ruto and his administration. They should not sit pretty watching this and think that everything is in order. Because everything normally starts in small instances, then it grows. It becomes a wave that you cannot control or manage. If it reaches that level, I can tell you, then Kenya will become a lawless country, because those who have been mandated to maintain law and peace are now engaging in this kind of behavior. So they will no longer be disciplined forces. And this shows that there is a failed government here if you have security officers fighting among themselves. It displays a bad picture of the current regime.